Hey, my name is Ashley Forsythe, and I'm here with Krystal Guerra today. Hi, Krystal.
Hey, Ashley.
So we are here to talk about a few things. We are here to talk about how to market yourself today, and we're also here to announce an event that I'm going to tell you about. But let's start off with introductions. Like I said, my name is Ashley, and I am the owner of Health and Fitness Meals in Salt Lake City, Utah, and also the owner of Your Way Nutrition. And I just love supporting other female entrepreneurs and business women, which is why I started Boss Lady Sundays, where I try to get on live with other women who are also business minded and entrepreneurs. And this event that I'm excited to announce is going to be the first Boss Lady Sunday featured sponsored event. And I got the privilege of doing this event with Krystal Guerra here. Krystal, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for having me on. I'm so excited to have this Boss Lady Sundays platform. I know I did an interview previously with you. A little bit about me is the founder of Guerra Media, which is a platform dedicated to speaking engagements for women in business, for a lot of Latino initiatives, for college and university students, talking to a lot of millennials about how to prepare for life and kind of careers. I also do a lot of marketing strategy and consulting as well. So I do work a day job, and I serve as a vice president of marketing for a healthcare software company here in Utah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Krystal. So, like I said, we are talking about marketing yourself today and the importance of marketing yourself with your product, your business, and your branding. And the event that we're hosting is called Boss Babes Night Out. And we're really excited about it. Krystal, do you want to tell us a little bit about the event?
Yeah, so I'm so stoked about this event. Like I said, Ashley and I are collaborating on this, and was great was that we actually both had we both kind of had the idea and hadn't really realized that, we both had the same idea, and we happened to come together and we were talking about it, and I was like, oh, this would be perfect. It's always great to have, business partners and friends that you can work with. So it worked out really well. So the event is on September 27th. We're having it in downtown Salt Lake City at Casino Toscana, which is an amazing Italian restaurant. They also have a venue that's kind of attached to it there. So hosting it downtown, it's from 4:30 to 6:30, and it really is dedicated to bringing a community of women together, particularly boss babes together, to kind of help each other out, promote each other's businesses and services. And then, like Ashley said, we're going to be talking about marketing yourself. And I'm such a huge believer in investing in not only your products, in your brand, but, you being an extension of that brand, investing in yourself. So we're going to have portraits there. We have two amazing photographers that are going to be taking lifestyle portraits, so you can have professionally done photos. So no selfies, no, as much as I love the iPhone, no iPhone photos. These will be professional photographers that have been doing this for years, that will be taking some amazing lifestyle portraits. We've got professional hair and makeup artists that will be there as well. So you can not only, feel your best, look your best during these photos, but you can feel your best during those photos. We're having exhibitors there from locally owned women-run businesses. So we've got teeth whitening services, handmade jewelry, eyelash extensions, estheticians that will be there. And we still have room for more exhibits for sure. So if you're interested in being a part of that event, not only as an attendee, but as an exhibitor to promote your products and services, Boss Babes Night Out, September 27th is the place to be. I'm so excited, like I said, just to get together with, all these amazing women and hear about their businesses and how we can kind of help promote each other.
Awesome. So I know she said that you can come as a vendor. You can come and just network, so just hang out and meet cool, awesome other boss ladies. And I like networking with other boss women who own their own companies, because I like, we can all help each other out. And so I like using the service of other female entrepreneur businesses, so we can all support each other, for anything I need, which is one of the reasons why our professional photographers are all females. Our makeup artists are female freelance makeup artists. And all the vendors of the booth are going to be female-run businesses. So I'm really excited about that. as far as like, let's see, there's the photo packages. So if you're not coming as a vendor, if you're not coming as just a networker ticket, you can get a photo package ticket, which includes combination of hair, makeup, and photos, or just makeup and photos. And so it's going to be exciting because, yeah, a lot of women don't market themselves as professionally as they could, or if you do, you're always scrambling to get a hold of more professional marketing media. And this is a really great way. We've got, it's probably less than half of what you would spend on your own to get these pictures done. So make sure to get a ticket so that you can brand yourself, market yourself, and meet a lot of other women.
Yep, and you guys can find that event. If you guys do a search on Facebook for Boss Babes Night Out, it'll pop up that way. I know it's both on my Instagram, on Ashley's Instagram, and we're so thankful for all the women that have shared, and we've got over 100 people already interested. So we're super excited to meet all of you guys and get your tickets because space is limited, and I know those spaces will go quickly. So September 27th, we'll see you guys there.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about marketing yourself, why we did this event, and why it's so important to do that. So basically, Krystal, do you want to talk to me about how you use social media to market your business and your product and your brand, and how crucial has social media been to developing you and your career?
Yeah, absolutely. So social media, I mean, I think for some people, they don't know life without social media. Like for us, we've kind of been around it for a long time, but really over the last few years from a digital standpoint, social media has really become a powerhouse in terms of a tool that you can leverage very cost effectively to market yourself, your brand, and your services. For me, I mean, it's done a ton of networking. My friends always joke because there's so many people that I've actually met through Instagram. Like it used to be, oh, where'd you guys meet each other? And it was, oh, we met out, we just kind of met out face to face. And now it's like, we met through a hashtag. We met through Instagram. Like, there's just the ease of relationship and connecting from people from across the world, really. So, it's been huge for me. It's a great way for me to connect with other people for sure. I take advantage of hashtags. It's an easy way. In fact, when I was looking to book photographers for this event, I actually searched hashtag Utah photographers and just kind of went through all those pictures. So people don't realize that there's actually strategy behind the hashtags that you use, the pictures that you post. It's always fun to post pictures of family and friends and, nights out for sure. But from a business standpoint, I've been able to actually book clients for speaking engagements through it. And again, it's just helped reinforce people of what I bring to the table, what services they can work and collaborate with me on. And it's really, I've really used it as a portfolio. So definitely been very, very helpful that way.
Okay. As far as social media is concerned, you primarily use Instagram?
Yes.
Is that do you use anything else? I'm just curious.
Yeah, absolutely. So I use Instagram and Facebook probably the most. I used to use Twitter. I think Twitter has kind of made a comeback for sure. We had the days of when Twitter first started. I think that was, it became really, really popular. We also had things like Periscope. You've got Pinterest. For me, I've primarily used Facebook and Instagram, and I've recently gotten a little bit back into Twitter. But I definitely don't use it as my platform of choice. And I know you have also, with your business, Health and Fitness Mills, you use Instagram tremendously for that as well.
Yes, I use it tremendously for marketing myself, marketing Boss Lady Sundays, Your Way Nutrition, which is my new company, and Health and Fitness Mills has its own page. And I would say the majority of our business comes through social media. And I very heavily hit Instagram and Facebook, but I pretty much use my major platform for getting everything out there is Instagram because it's so compatible. You can connect it with all of your other accounts. So if you have a Swarm or a Facebook, or I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that connect, but you can literally have all these accounts, post it only on Instagram, and it'll automatically share, which is really great because as a business owner, you've got a lot to do. Who has time to copy and paste and post things on 10 different places? So
yeah. Well,
that's why.
I think one of the things about Instagram is that they've done a good job of keeping up with the times and adding new features and functionalities with sharing stories and being able to mention other people. And so, things like leaving reviews and leaving video reviews, which is so great for, credibility for your brand. It makes it so easy to be able to share. I know as a consumer of health and fitness meals, it's so easy for me to be able to snap my dinner or snap my lunch and, tag health and fitness meals, and then you can easily reshare and repost that. So.
Yeah, I love that. I don't have to do very much as far as my storyline goes on health and fitness meals, because our customers and our athletes and people will tag us so much in their storyline, and I just share. And then we always have a feed, and I don't do anything, and it's so great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. Let's see what was next on my agenda. Okay, so you have built for yourself a really good following, and I think a lot of it is you've got really good content. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about what you've used to build your following and develop your own personal style in your content? Like, how did you know what hashtags to use? Basically, everything that you did that makes your page as successful as it is.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with marketing, there's always an aspect of A/B testing, and so when you're first starting out, and you can actually tell, like I can go back and tell where the division of where I went from a personal page to more of a branded business page. And that really comes, you mentioned content. I think a lot of it is making sure that the content that you're posting isn't creating value for yourself, but it's creating value and interest for other people. And I think that's where people get it kind of twisted, is they think, oh, this is my page and it's about me. And for me, it's like, yeah, it's about me, but it's not about me. It's more about what value I can bring and what tips I can share with others, things like that. And of course, you want to keep it authentic. So it is important that you weave, people like working with brands that have a good story. And, for me, it's always fun when I get an insight into the owner or how the business started and kind of the histories of the roots and stuff like that. And so definitely one of the things that's great is definitely mix in your own authenticity. You can post pictures, obviously, of yourself and kind of some of the adventures and things that you go on. But for the most part, if you are using it as a business service, make sure that the content that you're sharing brings more value to other people than it is just making it about yourself. So that's one thing. I mentioned hashtags. There's kind of a rule of thumb that between 5 and 6 hashtags it is best practice. There's definitely people that do a lot more, people that do less. But with the hashtags, make sure that you are making them meaningful in the sense that they actually promote your service. I mentioned the photographers that I booked earlier. I was looking at not only location, but I was also looking at the type of service. So using things like Utah photographer versus just photography. I was also looking for people that were professionals at portraits and not wedding photography, which is a huge difference. And so I would type in things like lifestyle portraits, portrait photographer. So be mindful that the hashtags can not only be fun and kind of playful, but they should also relate and tie back to the services that you're offering, because people really do use that as a search mechanism.
I just want to play off of what you're saying about hashtags, is that you have your own hashtag that you branded for yourself, and it's I'm going to put it up here. It's hashtag your business bestie.
Yes.
So I actually really like doing that. I like that you have, and my hashtag's just in my name of the title that I've started Boss Lady Sunday.
Yeah.
And it's something that nobody else is really using. And if you're really branding yourself and you're able to look up your hashtag, you're going to be able to see everything related to your brand and your product. And so I think it's always fun to have one hashtag that's specific to your brand.
Yep.
And then, I said, other hashtags that are very specific to what you do.
Yeah.
And that other people will be able to find you. And I do a lot of, because I run a local business, I do a lot of Utah hashtags.
Yeah.
So that people know that it's in the area, the people that are in the area. So I'll do meal prep Utah. Yeah. And so people looking for it obviously know it's your local, it's where to find it. So I definitely agree with that. So your own branding, and then some stuff that's going to identify you and localize you to your area.
Yeah, no, so that's definitely huge. And like I said, it makes it fun to be able to, one of the big things I talk about with marketing is to know your narrative. And so for me, when I do kind of create a hashtag that's specific to my brand, the other one that I've done is wake, stack, slay. And that's another hashtag that you can find specifically just in my profile that only pulls up hashtags related to me. One of the things that's unique about that, different hashtags, is I actually, on my website, krystalguerra.com, I have an RSS feed that pulls in certain Instagram images based on a hashtag that I use. And so that's also something from a tech standpoint that's really, really cool, is that you can create these custom feeds. I won't share with you guys what that hashtag is. So, there is also strategy in that, and how my website is correlated and tied into my social media strategy.
Okay. Well, as far as content, I love that you said that if it's not just your personal page, it's your business page, you want it to be something that is going to, obviously they're going to benefit from. But I like how you said that people are invested in a product that has a story that's related to a person. And I couldn't agree more. And that's a huge part of the reason why we hosted this event, because we know that you ladies out there are marketing a product, and we know that you're going to sell more if your face is behind it. Yep. People are way more interested in the individual behind it than they are just the product. And I can attest to that, because I have my health and fitness business page, and it's business, sell, like pictures of the product. And then I have my personal page, which basically I market and promote all my businesses through there as well. But I almost get more interaction, more interest, more clicks on the direct websites on my personal one, because people are a lot more interested in what a person has to say, and just like the authenticity. Like I agree, you do market yourself there to a point where you are saying, look, here's me, I'm vulnerable, I'm out there, but there is definitely that line,
the fine line with balance. And I think a lot of it just comes back to, people like doing business with people that they like and that they trust. And so really incorporating that. And Jenna Kutcher, if you guys follow her, she's huge, like one of the top Instagrammers. She's got the Gold Digger podcast. She's amazing. She actually has a podcast dedicated to the importance of making sure to sprinkle in, parts of yourself, parts of your life, so people get a sense of who you are. Oftentimes as business owners, we're really good at being behind the lens and taking pictures of our products and directing other people, and we forget our own story, and we forget to incorporate that. And so this event is definitely going to help you get in front of the lens and help you elevate your marketing presence with that. So
good. I'm just so excited for this event, and for getting to meet a whole bunch of you ladies behind your product and getting you guys to get out there.
Absolutely.
All right. So I want to talk a little bit about engagement.
Yes.
So is there anything that you've realized works a little bit better to get more engagement? Because obviously it's not always what's sometimes more important than how many followers you have, it's how engaged each person is. And I think a lot of people get caught up in, oh, how many followers, but maybe, there's nothing, the people don't actually interact, they don't actually buy, they don't actually, it's not benefiting them in any way.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot to be said about engagement. I'm a big follower of Gary Vaynerchuk. If you guys follow Vayner Media, any of his stuff, he talks a lot about engagement. I think oftentimes we do get caught up in the likes game, and there is an algorithm, for example, for Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. There is a technical algorithm aspect to it, but the big thing is, I think it's funny that we want more engagements with our content and with our posts, but we don't take the time to engage with other people's content. And so I think that, you've got to put yourself in the shoes of everyone else and say, well, if I want engaging content, I also need to participate and be a part of the conversation. And so when I look at content and there's something that really catches my eye, or, something that, I learned or want to give kudos to somebody about, I will take the time to comment. And so that's something that really helps build and bring authenticity to your brand and really increases your engagement, is just engaging with other people. So I frequently inbox, other folks when I see something interesting in their stories. I, not only like, but I'll comment something. If I'm using a product that I love, I make sure to take advantage of that and share why I like it. And so I think from an engagement standpoint, if you aren't seeing engagement with your content, with your posts, make sure you're spending the time to engage with others, because the reciprocation process, people will take notice of that and will more likely engage with you as well.
Okay. I completely agree with that, because I've seen people who have hundreds and hundreds of comments on their thing, but they don't even like it, they don't respond, they don't engage back. And then I've seen people who literally comment back to all of their followers. Thank you. It means a lot, at least something simple. And it makes such a big difference. It makes you feel like, okay, so this person's putting themselves out there and returning. It's like a exchange. And so I definitely admire people. I need to do better at that, because I'm so business oriented. Well, post done, but like definitely a little bit giving back a little bit to your followers for sure. I think that people get really excited about that. I know there's some things about, as far as like engagement goes, there are some really fun things that have happened in the storylines recently that I really like, and I love the polls.
Yes.
Where you can say like yes or no or this or that, and I get really, really crazy engagement on anything like that.
I think to that point, like I said, one of the things I love about Instagram is that they've done such a good job of incorporating these, different tools and engagement points that you can definitely make use of from a entertainment fun standpoint. I know I had a poll recently. I'm a big breakfast person, so I had a poll recently about pancakes versus waffles, right? So that obviously wasn't business related, but what is great is that you can leverage it from a business standpoint. And in the marketing business, we call it perspective profiling. So typically when, someone goes to download something from your website, you ask 2 or 3 questions on a form. Well, one of the things that's great about, the social media questions is that you can start asking questions that relate to strategy to your business. So if you're wanting to know a specific price point for something, you can start asking, probing questions around what would you be willing to pay for something like this? If you're choosing between printing on a black or white for a promotional swag item, you can start asking people, do you prefer option A or B? And I've seen that with a couple of people that I follow that have book covers, and they weren't sure which book cover to go with. And so they just let people choose and comment which book cover they liked better. And so it's not only something that you can use for fun and entertainment, but you could actually use it from a strategic standpoint to gain insights about your target audience.
That's awesome. I know I did that a little bit about this event that we're hosting, where I was kind of like, well, what do people pay for their photo shoots? Or my favorite one, I got a lot of interaction when I said, what does your content consist of? Like, is it selfies or is it professional pictures? And everybody's like, selfies. But it's interesting because interaction is so much better when you've got professional pictures, when it's not, your phone isn't attached to your arm, but you're out, you've got a background, you're doing something. It's clear that, you take the time to make sure you've got high quality photos on your feed. It just comes across so much more professional.
Oh yeah, well, and 2 things to that. So I definitely agree, and I'm a big believer. And I think it's interesting that we want people to invest in our products and our services and buy the things that we're offering, but we're not willing to invest that same level of effort into ourselves. And so for me, it speaks volumes about you as a business owner, that you're willing to invest in having that polished, put together look. And so from a pricing standpoint, whether it's $100 or, $125, which is our max ticket price, that dollar amount that you're going to see in ROI from a branding equity standpoint is going to go so much further. And one of the other things too is that people don't realize how many people are watching this. And at any point, somebody could want to do a collaboration with you, and the first thing they'll ask you is, can you send me a picture of yourself so I can post it, on our website, or I can post it on Instagram. And that's when I have found a lot of people scrambling, because they're like, oh shoot, I just got asked for a photo that's going to be used to promote something, And so that's why I've done several photo shoots, and I love having a variety of different shoots. So, I can submit those photos. There's like I said, there's people that are watching you that might want to submit you for an award, a nomination, speaking engagements. I know, Ashley, you're speaking on a panel next year, and so the first thing people usually ask you is, can I get a photo of you?
Yeah. And it's going to be up in front of everybody, like, that's in the room. And I don't want it to be like a...
yeah, a selfie.
Especially when every other woman up there has professional pictures. And that's a huge thing, is that when you do collaborations, I always ask for pictures of the women that I'm going to feature. Yep. And that's really one of the things that got me going on this event, is that, oh my gosh, half of these professional women do not have a freaking picture to give me.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Why don't you have anything? And a lot of it's time and expense, which is why we got all of our photographers to give us discounted rates, all come into one venue, one time slot, getting the costs way down for all of you ladies that don't have the professional photo, like when somebody's asking you for one. And it's not even just social media that you use the pictures on, is that headshots are really popular now to have on your resume, or just even, I gotta think about it, even if you don't own your own business, realtors have their own pictures, loan officers.
Yeah, there's a lot of options. One of the things too, again, with this event that is something that's very unique to us hosting it is a not-for-profit event. Like, we are literally negotiated things, made this package deal for everyone. I want to make sure that we emphasize to everyone, this is really something that's come from a necessity that we found in ourselves as business owners, that instead of, we could have kind of gone and, I've got photographers and stuff that I've done, is we really wanted to open it up because we see such a need for this, and we really want to help other women understand the ROI and the importance of having that polished, put together look.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we literally are just doing this because we see the value in it, and we want to offer you guys this value. So tickets are a great deal. If you don't have any marketing material, definitely make it. The link is actually attached to this live feed. So click on it, look at our picture packaging, and we'd really hope to see you there.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be so much fun, guys.
All right, so Krystal, on your page, I want to know, how much is it you selling yourself versus like your product? So, I mean, obviously you don't want to attack your followers with buy business. I want to kind of know how you balance that. If you were to say like a percentage of, authentic posts versus you selling yourself and your product.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm a little bit of a unique situation because, and again, it really comes back to what your product and service is. So for me, it's kind of all in one engagements. And so I am, my service in a sense that way. So for me, I would say a good rule of thumb is usually 60, you could look at a 60-40 split. Other people will say 80-20. I think it depends on the service that you're pushing. I've definitely seen pages that are 100% dedicated to just product shots. And again, while it can work, there are actual studies that show that you'll get so much more engagement when you incorporate aspects of yourselves. I even say this with photographers. I think photographers sometimes are so good at posting pictures of their work that they forget to post a picture of themselves. It's like the shoemaker with no shoes, where they'll kind of, forget that they can be in front of the lens as well. So I think for me, I'm probably closer to a 60-40 split, but I'm also in a unique situation where my services incorporate me as a product. So it's a little bit different that way. I think for you, for health and fitness mills, it's probably closer to like an 80-20, maybe 90-10 split, right?
That's actually right. And I want to tell everybody about an app I use. It's called Preview. I don't know if anybody's heard of it, but it's awesome because you can actually pre-plan your tiles. Because I don't know if you've seen people with their marketing schemes where everything looks like a giant picture. I mean, if it's separate, there's just obviously a pattern to it. So I use that and I love it. And I pattern and I map out exactly how much. So like in a week, I'm doing 6 posts, and one of them, I think only one of those posts is direct product.
Yeah.
And so I think you're right. So if there's the 3, there's the 6. So yeah, almost 20%, a little bit less than that is how much I'm doing direct product sales. And then I've got 2 that are event or boss lady features or quotes that market like an event like this, or for an example, the panel that I'm speaking on for them, I use those 2 slots for that. I use 2 slots that are just me.
Yep.
And I use 1 slot for something like about me that I love. And I know that's the balance that I found, and I like it. So the funny thing is, though, is like with the like game, I will not get rid of that panel of the things that I like the best. So that's like my friends, it's going to be my pets, it's going to be my family, but it always gets the least likes. And I'm like, you guys
don't like
those are my favorite things. And it's the least popular, but I don't care. I keep it on there to, stay true to myself and have a good representation of who I am.
Awesome. And I think that's so important. I know oftentimes I literally, know people that will take so much they put so much personal energy and investment. They take it very personally, looking at different likes and engagements, and, just be mindful of not playing the compare game. Again, for me, the value of the content that I create is if I can reach one person and it makes them either smile, makes a difference in their day, makes them feel better, to me, that's way more worth it than 100, 200 likes, things like that. And so I would say just be cautious of the likes game. One of the things that if you make your Instagram a business profile, which I recommend, you can go into your settings and upgrade your profile to business settings. You can get a lot of insight and analytics on, new discoveries, new impressions, reach that your page is creating. And so when you're trying to analyze which content people enjoy most and which really resonates with your target audience, I definitely recommend that you upgrade your profile to that profile so you can get those granular analytics and then make decisions based on that. And so I think, again, like I will emphasize, you guys, you forget that we have these great social media platforms, but there are ways to take advantage of this from a business setting, from a strategy standpoint. And Preview is an app I've used as well. Ashley's definitely a lot more organized and better about that. So, huge props to really, kind of visioning that out and creating that order. But it does save you a lot of time, and you can pre-schedule posts as well, which is super helpful.
Yeah, I definitely like that feature of it. And yeah, I agree. Business setting all the way, especially if you're trying to market or sell anything, because the analytics are awesome for your feedback. You can even know on your storylines if you if I tag, so if I'm going to feature Krystal and I'm going to tag Krystal, I can see everybody that's not who, but I can see how many people are clicking to go to her page. And that's valuable for me because if I'm doing collaborations and I can say, hey, I get a storyline post that gets you 20 clicks to your page, and probably half of those are followers. And that's, that's valuable information. I'm going to talk about your page. Well, yours is so professional. You do a great job at this. You're like my gold page. You do a lot of inspirational quotes, and then almost all of your pictures, I feel like, are professional pictures. If you were to kind of tell me about the content on your page, like how much of that is professional? Where do you add your quotes? Because you've got that cute little floral background, so they all match. Tell us a little bit about that.
So one of the things I do is I like to kind of I like to choose your branding and style. What kind of matches well with you? An app that I use, we're talking about tech stack. An app that I really like is Canvas. It allows you to create and kind of create those quotes, overlay quotes. It lets you, if you saw the video that I actually created for the Boss Babes Night Out, I actually created still images and put them together in a slideshow using Video Merger is another one that I like. The new iPhones have iMovie, which makes it super easy. So
I love iMovie.
Yes, kind of dropping a few of my favorite apps in there. Pick Stitch is another one. And so, you know, like I said, it makes it so easy to create videos and things like that. But I'm a huge believer in the professional photo shoots. I just like having that content. So I will do a handful of photo shoots, different kind of looks, you know, some that are a little bit more business, casual, some that, you know, are a little bit more lifestyle shoots. So I will say that the majority of my content is probably on the higher end in terms of kind of that polished professional look, but that's also personally my style. And so I think that it really speaks to, you got to figure out what your voice is. If you're not like a jacket, I love blazers. Like my people at my work will tell you, like I've always loved blazers. I love dresses, and so that's unique to me. And so when I do post images, you know, a lot of times that seem very, very professional, buttoned up, but that's also tied into my personality and kind of my own personal branding that way. So be true to yourself. By no means, if you're not a suit person and you suddenly start whipping out a bunch of these suit photos, people might feel a little suspicious about that just because they know you and they're like, oh, that doesn't really seem like your style. So find that balance between polished, but what is within your comfort level as well.
Well, like obviously it has to tie into what you're doing. So you are a woman in business, and so you're in business attire. I think that it's completely acceptable to always be in spandex if you're fitness page. So just appropriate with what you're selling. I was trying to download the app that you were recommending while we were talking, and I couldn't find it. You said Canvas?
Yes, I believe it should be called Canvas, or it might just be Canva without the S. But it allows you to do a lot of those overlay text and images. I should double check because I feel like I've got so many apps on my phone, but I believe it is called.
Okay, I found it is Canva.
Yeah, Canva, no S.
Okay, got it. Okay, I'm excited to look into that one now. All right,
yeah, that's how I create those templates. And sorry, you mentioned a little bit about templates earlier. For me, it just comes back to a timing thing. You know, Ashley mentioned this, use as preview because it cuts back on a lot of time. As a business owner, you know, social media is great and it's good marketing, but oftentimes you still have to be out interacting with people. You can't spend your whole day on social media, you know, just engaging. You have to, you know, for me, it's a lot of business meetings, it's presentations. And so I create templates that I like, and I, you know, choose my font once, choose the template, and then I save that. And then, you know, when I go to make an update, I just change the image in the back real quick. I update the text. And so I kind of have a consistent look and feel, you know, colors that I like, you know, I've kind of just pre-templated and chosen. And then that just makes it a lot easier because I feel like sometimes people get overwhelmed, and you don't have to, everything doesn't have to be super unique. There are tools that you can, you know, do once and then just duplicate it and leverage that template. So that's why it's great.
All right, I want to talk really fast about a couple things that I really like. So I really like utilizing the highlights.
Yes.
In your storyline and having the cute cover pictures, and I kind of bullet point the things that are most me or that I'm most marketing. And then I also love an app that's called Linktree.
Yes.
And there's a lot similar to it, and I'm not familiar with all of their names, but it's great because you only get one link in your bio, and so the Linktree pulls up and it's really cute, it's tiled, and then you can do multiple links. So I'll have a link to my Health and Fitness Meals webpage, and I'll have a link to my personal nutrition program, and then I'll have a link to buy tickets for this event. And it's really great because you can, you know, hide them or show them. I was featured and had a blog post written about me, so I had the blog post in there for a time period, and then I took it down. That's something that I definitely recommend that everybody looks into because I love it.
I agree. I also use so.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Oh, I said I second that because I also tree. So definitely.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so last topic as far as I want to talk about vulnerability. So like so for me, it was very hard for me to transition into marketing myself with my product. I think if you go to my health and fitness pills page, I think it's going to be really difficult for you to figure out that I own it. Like you'll have to like really, really look for the pictures. And I was told that I was undermining myself and my business by not being the spokesperson behind it, especially because that was my love and my passion. And they're like, you need to market yourself with this product. And some of my business models that I follow, I noticed like the people in that do exactly that. And so it was very hard for me, and it's very uncomfortable for a lot of women to kind of step out into that. Here's me and here's my face. And then also people want to know the authentic you, but what is too much? What is an overshare? Like, what do you feel about that? I mean, you're a single woman and you're not posting every other guy that you go on a date with. or like trying to get dates obviously on it. But I mean, tell me a little bit about you. Like, where's your line? Where's your border there?
So I think the rule of thumb for sure, when it comes to relationships, especially, I'm definitely a lot more cautious with, things like that. For me, it's things that are my priority. So family's a big one. Definitely enjoy spending time with my friends. I think when it comes down to vulnerability is you have to understand that the things that you're going through are things that we all go through. Like, as business owners, we're not immune to life in any way. We have our bad days, we have our good days. And so I think it's important for people to feel like you're not a robot, like you're not always super put together. There's days, and I share a lot of this in my stories. A lot of my stories, if you follow me, it's like me in bed with like my hair up in a bun, like no makeup on. I'm working on my computer late at night, because that to me is really like the daily grind. Like, that's what I look like the majority of the time. If you kind of catch me, is there's a lot of work behind the scenes that goes into that. And so I think you just have to be very conscious of, would this hurt my credibility, in the sense of, what are things that are maybe TMI. And I think for everyone it's different. I know some influencers that I follow are very like off the cuff. They're, they will share. Oh yeah, go ahead. They will share, a lot of different things. And so with that, it's hard to say exactly what the rule of thumb is. I think for me, I'm definitely more cautious when it comes to, personal relationships, with dating, with friends that I'm spending time with. Oh, we've got a visitor. Yay. Hi,
you keep going.
We've met before.
This is my niece. She just came to visit. So we're going to wrap it up. Speaking of vulnerability and sharing your family and things.
Yeah, Ashley was such a great aunt. So, that's something that is great to share. So I think, but again, like I said, when it comes to vulnerability is, don't be afraid to share when you are having those hard times, because I think that people can really relate to that. And like, there's days that I have that I'm, a mess or really struggling with. And I think it's okay at the end of the day, just know that it's okay to not always be okay. So we'll kind of wrap things up with that.
Good. All right. Well, thank you so much, Krystal. Hope that people got some really great tools and things to learn about marketing, and hope that people see how important it is to step out and step behind their product. And I really hope that all the women listening to this are inspired to come to our event, because we want to meet you, we want to hang out with you, and we want to help you build and grow your business. So feel free to message me any questions, or Krystal, any questions you have about the event, or questions about marketing yourself. And we could go on forever. I know we didn't even get to hit everything in a little bit. So hopefully we'll get to see you guys there. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for joining me with Krystal. I'm so excited.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. And we'll see you at the event.
All right, bye.
Bye.